KUTX 98.9. I'm Laurie Gallardo, and this is KUTX at home. Here I am at home, and I know somebody else who is at home right now, a magnificent songwriter, just master craftsman, if I can do some bragging. And on top of that, a producer, and such a joy to have him with me today. Please welcome my special guest, Brendan Benson. Brendan, I'm so excited you're here with me. Kind of, sort of here.
Thank you very much. What an intro. Thank you, Laurie. Appreciate that.
Surely. Well, you know what? It's from the heart, and I'll warn you right now, you got a big music nerd on your hands. I mean, really, I should just say a nerd. So whenever you see me
forget the music part. Well, you know what? I'm king of the nerds. So, well, maybe not king. I aspire to be king of the nerds. But I am a nerd myself, self-proclaimed nerd. You know, I tell my son, like, nerds will inherit the earth. Nerds rule. They are the musicians, the artists, you know, all those so-called nerds. They will be your you will look up to them one day in some way or another.
Truly, in some way or another, and I'm already looking up at quite a few, so it's all good, Brendan. We are set. So let me begin by saying congratulations on a damn great album. I love Dear Life, and
Thank you.
I don't say this lightly because I don't like making top whatever lists, but this has got to be one of the top releases for me for this year.
Thank you. Wow.
It's a
well,
big
it's early
deal
yet, right? It's early still. So in the year.
But it's such a great album, and on top of that, I also had the pleasure of kind of stepping back in time a little bit, and I got myself a vinyl copy, not only of Dear Life, but of One Mississippi, which
cool.
Came out in '96. I love that as well. And of course, I get all my goods at thirdmanrecords.com.
Yes.
And
Third Man, shout out to Third Man.
All the shout outs to Third Man. They help feed my nerdy needs, I'm telling you.
That's right. They keep the nerds alive. They keep the nerds equipped with great vinyl records and other such novelties.
Other such goodies. I could be there on the website for way too long, so I have to kind of mind myself, you know.
Right. It's like a candy store, isn't
it? But again, you know, really enjoying Dear Life. It is magnificent, and kind of what I've been just really feeding off of big time is the idea of this being pop or pop music, but I have not restricted anything to one genre. I really feel you're coming at this from so many angles, and it's not going to different styles. To me, it felt instinctive with each and every song. It's not just necessarily one brand of music. You kind of went all over the place, but it really felt like an instinctive package altogether.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I think that's, you know, usually kind of where the beauty lies is when you can, I think, you know, make something seem effortless or easy. Hang on.
Go for it.
Oh no, we lost the light.
Emily.
Let me just hang on a second. We'll edit this out. Hey guys. Hey. Be cool, okay? Sorry.
Not a problem. Look, we're at home. It's okay.
Right. Oh, so yeah, we were talking about I guess you know, that sort of making it look effortless, you know. That's what I try to do, I guess. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into making my records. A lot of struggle, a lot of strife, you know, but I try to in the end make it seem like, you know, there wasn't a lot of work that went into it, and that it should just be easy listening. It should just be sort of, so I'm glad to hear you say that, for starters. And then for another thing, I did a lot of kind of, I guess, experimenting, you call that, on this record. I mean, I relied a little bit more on software instruments, and so, you know, computer-based instruments, because out of necessity, really, because I lost my studio. I started recording the record in this great studio I had in Midtown Nashville, But I got a call one day saying the building was set to be demolished. So I had to get out. So I packed up all my stuff, which is a lot of stuff, put it in storage, and set up had a little setup at home in my basement, and for months before actually we ended up moving again. But the point is, I was in my basement I couldn't really play very loud all the time, and I couldn't set up drums. And so that's kind of why it was out of necessity. I just sort of wanted, I was still writing. I still felt like writing. And I still had this momentum from the songs I'd written in the studio. So I just wanted to keep it going. And so, yeah, I started working with I started working with programmed drums, and I fell in love, actually. It's like, great, especially for someone like me, a solo artist, doing it all himself. I mean, it's really great, I mean, because normally I got to mic up the whole drum kit and then make sure everything sounds good by myself. It's very hard running back and forth, literally, and then getting the take.
Yeah.
But now to do it in the box, so to speak, is like, opens up just a lot. And then not to mention, there's just so many options, in the box. It's kind of a problem. It can be a problem.
Sure.
But and like on this record, I wanted to be careful not to actually, even though I was kind of poking around in the box, I wanted to be careful not to, get nuts. So, I mean, it's like a classic thing for, like, a band, when a band discovers the synthesizer or something, then they make a synthesizer record. You know what I mean? All their songs have synth on it, or whatever. I didn't want to have that kind of record. Like, all my songs have, some sort of weird computer thing, So I don't know. It was a balance. It was a line I walked.
I know that's a tough line. I know that's a tough balance to achieve. But again, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It really was instinctive. You had to do it this way. You were working with all the cool stuff that you got. And it also, to me, sounds like Brendan Benson. I mean, that's where I was like, oh, hell yeah, nailed it. And
I feel like there's an example. The first song on the record is I Can If You Want Me To, and it starts with a kick drum and vocal, but there's this sample of a, like, human voice, kind of gibberish. And I found that, I don't know how, I can't remember where it came from. I think I messed with it and tweaked it. And then in the end, I just thought, like, this is kind of doing the same thing. Because normally, probably I would reach for a guitar at this point and plug in, probably get some cool ass tone, dial in some, wicked guitar amp distortion. And, but that kind of did the same thing. I felt like it kind of had that sort of same toughness and almost, color or texture, whatever you want to say. It kind of felt like a guitar to me. So I thought, yeah, I think I can get away with this. I think I can hang with this, and lead my record with it, in fact.
That's exactly, I think that's, it does lead the record, but that's where it started with me. I was like, what is he doing? Oh my God, I'm loving this. And it just kind of threw me on another track. And then I went another way. And, that was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love hearing you run around like that. Sure.
That was, the record was sequenced by Jack White, actually. I sent it to him and said, well, he had it, of course. But I said, he's really good at that. I mean, for a guy who doesn't do set lists, he's really good at putting songs in an order. Like, he does all his sequences, all his own records too. And usually artists do that, but I'm not very good at it. And so I asked him to do it, and he nailed it. He totally did. I was like, the first time I listened back, I was like, oh my God, yeah, I never would have thought to do that. Oh, that's great. Perfect. So really worked out.
I was like,
yeah.
Props to the master.
Yes. That's right.
And it's badass. And speaking of putting together the album, what I really liked hearing or seeing you talk about was the experience you had writing the first song that you did for the album. And you were talking about the experience. It's almost like a religious experience. You took some time off, and it was like you never left. You're like, I'm doing it again. And this is, I think what was it? Was it half a boy, half a man
Yeah.
that you're talking about? I was just like, preach, brother,
Yeah.
because that is
That's
an
awesome.
that's an
All right.
exciting thing, you know.
Yeah.
What a
Me too. Me
revelation you're
too.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I felt it. I felt that way too. You know, I like, I just thought, wow, I think I missed this. I missed this whole thing like that that I like to do. You know, I hadn't done it in so long. I just been working with other bands or trying to produce or trying to do this or trying to hustle up some, you know, just trying to hustle my game, you know, and like not, I don't know, it was just playing music, for fun, for the sake of, I don't know, fun or working it out or whatever I was doing. I was just kind of doing my thing. I wasn't making an album consciously, you know,
Yeah.
until after a few songs. And I was like, wait a second, this is cool. I mean, this is not only is this, you know, fun and feeling kind of cathartic for me, but these are good songs, you know, these like, that's when I want to, you know, that's when, of course, I got kicked out of the studio or, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why I was still kind of determined to write. I felt I was in a mood, you know, so then that's when I just, like I was saying, just kind of, I didn't have the drums or the guitars necessarily, so I started using other things.
Hell yeah. It's awesome. I'm loving it.
Thank
And
you.
I keep recommending that. With pride, Brendan, with pride.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
then, you know, I do all the bragging. When I'm really into someone's work, I do all of the bragging. That includes your work as a producer,
Somebody's
as a
got to do it.
you know, um, um, your work collaborating with others. I thought of, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought of Jake Bugg.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Jake Bugg, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You know
I
that.
know. I forgot about that too, man. Jake is badass. I wonder what he's doing nowadays.
Hopefully, doing some more stuff. Hopefully,
Yeah.
get to hear from him soon. And the one other thing that I've heard you discussing, which really hit so close to home, is actually learning to enjoy yourself. And I think that often goes hand in hand with the creative process. You can get so wrapped up in the details. You can get so wrapped up in, I have to do this, or maybe it's a deadline, or, you know, you're wrapping something up.
Yeah.
We actually we forget to enjoy the experience. And I
I
hear
think
that.
so. Yeah. Lose touch with, lose the point, right? Like
Yeah,
you kind of get wrapped up in, the minutia, but also the kind of role playing, I think, that goes along with it, you know, or the professional, you just feel like I got to portray this kind of professionalism or this, whatever it is you might feel you need to front, you know, and then just when it like comes right down to it or whatever, like when I was writing those songs, it was just, I was running around like a mad scientist. It was great. It was so fun. And it felt right. It was like, yes, I missed this, you know, like, man, I've been LARPing for so long, you know, this is, it's good to get back into the real life. Get
yeah,
back
you
to where you
know,
once belong.
get back to where you once belong. And
Right.
I love the expression mad scientist. I love that. I can just see it, you know.
Oh, that's me.
I have a
Totally.
vivid picture. And we have company. I can hear company.
I know. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of not sorry too. My kids. How can I be sorry for my kids, right?
Never be sorry. They're being
Never,
kids.
unless they're being, you know, like extremely kiddish, extreme kids, then maybe an apology is necessary.
That's all right. I know a lot of grown-ups that act that way and they never apologize, so don't even bother.
Oh gosh, man, I know a lot of those too. Apologies are hard to come by, you know.
They're hard to come by. I never expect them anymore. So there you go.
No. Ooh, well, I know. I don't know if I do either. You're right.
Yeah. Well, back
Sometimes
to the music.
I get them from my kids. You know, you get a full-on apology from the kids. You'll get an honest to God, just, I'm sorry, Dad. You know, like, and it's like, oh gosh, then everything's all is forgiven. It's, you know, if only, that'd be great. And if you could maintain that in an adult life, like, I'm sorry, Laurie.
You know, Brendan.
We're getting deep here.
We're getting so deep here. I promised myself I won't go deep. I won't go deep in this one. And look at me.
And then I went there.
Well, like I said, Brendan, this is exciting. And just to give you a little background, before we knew everything was closing down, before we knew anything about anything, I was really stoked because I was originally supposed to have this lovely chat with you during South by Southwest. And then you were at KUTX's studio. And then right after we were done, you were going to head out to that Third Man Records showcase. So this has been cool.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Well, I'm glad. Actually, that was like early in the morning too, wasn't it? It was like super early. We were going to do that.
No, I promise.
Or maybe that wasn't your.
It was like 3 o'clock or something.
Oh, okay. That was something else then. Okay. I had something else that day at like 8 a.m. I was like, oh, fuck.
8 a.m. 8 in the morning. Yeah. No, Dracula does not rise before 8 a.m.
Thank you. Yes.
So, no, I will never do that to you, Brendan. Never.
It's like the gang sign for Dracula. Dracula's gang, the original. Sign.
Yeah, and really, it's just the sleeping position in your coffin. So there you go.
That's right. Yep.
Now, before I go babbling on any further, Brendan, I would love to hear a song from you, if that's possible.
Yes. I almost forgot about our song date.
That's okay. All right.
Hopefully, it'll sound okay. Let me just move back. Okay, so I thought I'd play "Richest Man," which is the newest song being pushed. What do they call it? The focus track, I believe it's called. There you go. I love you, whatever you do, you don't even have to try. Ever since your birth, it's been heaven on earth, and oh my, you're perfect in my eyes. And I got two beautiful babies. One hell of a woman as my wife. I got twice the love and half the money. And I feel like the richest man alive. Oh yeah, I feel just like richest man alive. I gave you your name, but you gave me my life, and you make this house a home. And after I'm gone, you'll carry on, and you'll have a family of your own. I got two beautiful babies. One hell of a good-looking wife. Yeah. I got twice the love and half the money, and I feel like the richest man alive. Yeah, I feel just like the richest man alive. Man alive. And all my days are warm and sunny. Yep, ever since you came around. I got twice the love and half the money, and I feel like the richest man in town. Yeah, I feel just like the richest man alive. Ooh, man alive. Ooh, man alive. All right. Hope it sounded okay.
All right, Brendan. Applause.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
I love it. And I'm telling you, the album is spectacular. And I want to say thanks again for doing this. This has made me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm a happy camper. I can't even.
All right. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
You know what? It's for real. I'm a genuine Third Man Records freak, but I'm a big fan of yours as well. And there
Nice, thank
you
you.
go. And I also wanted to say, if I may, thank you for doing your Instagram performances. I would always tune in at 4:20. I'd be like,
Oh,
Brent,
cool. Yes, excellent. What was
you
your, what's, well, yeah, you'll have to tell me your handle after,
I will. I'm going to
or,
tell you.
yeah.
And well, actually, I don't have it on hand, but it's like the Laurie G ATX. And you can't miss it. I'm wearing a necklace with a bat on it. So, hey, there you go.
Okay, all right, the Laurie G ATX, all right, I love it.
But those are great. And as I was telling some other friends who I know have been, doing live streams and things like that, it's really eating us up alive. We want to be in person. We want to do that. We're
Yeah,
looking forward to that. But Brendan, doing that live stream really, it made the day a lot better. And thank you for doing that. Really
oh, I'm
appreciate
glad.
that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for saying that. That's nice.
Absolutely. All right, I'm wrapping this up. I'm Laurie Gallardo. My guest today has been Brendan Benson. Don't forget, you have got to get your own copy of his latest album, Dear Life. It is magnifique. Thanks so much for tuning in. KUTX 98.9, the Austin Music Experience. This is KUTX at home.